Good day, everyone. Welcome back to the Cell and Molecular Biology. I am Mylene El Pascolado, and today we're going to discuss about the structure and composition of cell membrane. So now, let us know first, what is the cell membrane? Cell membrane, also known as the plasma membrane, is a dynamic and semi-permeable barrier that separates the cell's interior from its external environment. It plays critical roles in maintaining cellular homeostasis, communication, and transport of materials. So now let us have the structure of the cell membrane. The cell membrane follows the fluids mosaic model proposed by Singer and Nicholson in 1972. Its key features include lipid bilayer. So cell membrane plays a critical role in maintaining cellular homeostasis, communication, and transport of materials. So at this moment, let us dive into the structure of the cell membrane, which is the lipid bilayer, proteins, carbohydrates, and cholesterol. So the lipid bilayer composed primarily of phospholipids, which are amphipathic molecules with hydrophilic or kanang water attracting phosphate head and two hydrophilic or water repelling and fatty acid tails. The bilayer fluid allowing lateral movement of lipids and proteins, which provides flexibility and enables dynamic cellular processes. So now let us have another structure, which is the proteins. Integral proteins span the entire membrane and may function as channels, carriers, or receptors. We also have the peripheral proteins, where attached to the surface of the membrane, often plays roles in signaling and maintaining the cytoskeleton. So we also have another structure, which is the carbohydrates. The carbohydrates found on the extracellular surface of the membrane attached to the proteins, or glycoproteins, or lipids or glycolipids, and it involved in cell recognition, signaling, and adhesion. We also have the cholesterol interfaces within the lipid bilayer, providing stability by modulating fluidity and permeability. At this moment, let us move on to the composition of the cell membrane. The cell membrane's composition varies depending on cell type, but typically includes 50% lipids or phospholipids, cholesterol, glycolipids, and 50% proteins or integral and peripheral. So carbohydrates are less than 10% but are significant for specialized function. So now let us move on to another topic, which is the cell permeability. So what is a cell permeability? Cell permeability refers to the ability of the cell membrane to allow substances to pass in and out. And the membrane is selectively permeable, meaning it allows certain molecules to cross while restricting others. So there are factors affecting the cell permeability. First is the size of molecules, lipid solubility, charge, presence of transport proteins. So first we have the lipid solubility. I mean the size of molecules. Small molecules like oxygen and carbon dioxide pass more easily than large molecules. And we also have the lipid solubility, where the lipophilic substances like steroids diffuse more readily than hydrophilic ones. So we also have the charged ions and charged molecules typically require specific transport mechanisms. And we also have the presence of transport proteins, which facilitate the movement of specific molecules or ions. We also have the types of molecules, which is the easily permeable, slightly permeable, and impermeable. So easily permeable is small non-polar molecules, while the slightly permeable is small polar molecules like water and ethanol, and the last one is the impermeable, the large polar molecules and ions. Example is the glucose. So now let us move on to the transport mechanism. So transport mechanism across the cell membrane occurs via two main categories. So now let us move on to the transport mechanism. So transport across the cell membrane occurs via two main categories, which is the passive transport and the active transport. So the passive transport is no energy required, and active transport is energy and dependent. So in the passive transport, it relies on the concentration gradient, high to low or high to low concentration, and it includes the simple diffusion, facilitated diffusion, and osmosis. So simple diffusion is a movement of small or non-polar molecules directly across the lipid bilayer, while the facilitated diffusion involves transport proteins for molecules that cannot diffuse freely, such as glucose or ions. So in the osmosis naman is the diffusion of water through a selectively permeable membrane, facilitated by the aquaporins. So now let us move on to the active transport. So active transport requires energy, usually in the form of ATP, to move substances against their concentration gradient. So in the active transport, we have the primary active transport and the secondary active transport. So we will discuss each of these. So in the primary active transport, it is a direct use of ATP to power transport, like ATP's pump, which maintains membrane potential by pumping out and in. So now let us move on to the secondary active transport, which utilizes the energy from the movement of one substance down its gradient to transport another substance against its gradient. So now let us discuss the another transport mechanism, which is the bulk transport. Consists endocytosis, phagocytosis, phagocytosis, receptor-mediated endocytosis, and exocytosis. So, in the endocytosis, the cell engulfs materials via vesicles. Types include phagocytosis, which cell eating for large particles, and phagocytosis, where cell drinking for fluid solutes, and receptor-mediated endocytosis, where specific molecules to receptors before internalization. So in the exocytosis, the cell expels materials using the vesicles that fuse with the membrane. So we have the last one, transport mechanism, which is the ion channels and pumps. So ion channels provide selective pathways for ions to move down their electrochemical gradients. Examples is the voltage-gated channels, ligand-gated channels. So in conclusion, the cell membrane is a sophisticated and dynamic structure critical for maintaining the internal environment of the cell. Its selective permeability and transport mechanisms ensures that regulated exchange of substances, supporting cellular functions such as signaling, energy production, and growth. Understanding its structure and transport processes is fundamental to cell biology and physiology. So that ends my report, and good day again, and until next time, bye.